Sadashiva Samarambham Sankacharya Madhyamam Asmaracharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Pranavanandam. Adorations to Lord Shiva with name and form and without name and form, as you are the cause and effect of this manifestation that we call the universe, including Mother Earth. And you've come again as Adi Shankaracharya, and you've come as spiritual masters, including Swami Parameshananda. Adorations to you. Oh, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho. Om Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho. Om Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho. Om Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho, Hare Guru Shankara Shiva Shambho. Guru Mata Pita Guru Bandhu Sakha, Guru Mata Pita Guru Bandhu Sakha. Tere charanon mein Guru mera koti pranam. Tere charanon mein Guru mera koti pranam. Tumi jnana data, tumi shakti rata, tumi shanti rata, tumi mukti rata. Tere charanon mein Guru mera koti pranam. Tumi vidata, tumi param pita, tumi raj dhiraj Guru Maharaj. Tumi raj dhiraj Guru Maharaj. Guru Mata Pita Guru Bandhu Sakha. Tere charanon mein Guru mera koti pranam. Adorations to Guru. And each one of us, we have our Guru. For us, the BHARAT SEVASHRAM, Swami Parameshananda. He's a manifestation of that consciousness, a lineage of Shiva Bhagwan, Lord Shiva. And he announces coming. And throughout his sojourn on earth as in the human body, he would have lifted India and the world to a level, and leaving an organization, BHARAT SEVASHRAM, with a brotherhood of monks and disciples, millions of disciples all over the world. I got a call. I always stay in touch with our Swamijis, and I spoke to Swami Parameshananda. He was in Kolkata, and he was heading for Ganga Sagar. And this is for the Ganga Sagar Mela. It is right next to the Ganges, where it's meeting the Bay of Bengal. And I've had the chance to go there twice. And people will go there and take bath in the water next to Kapil Muni Ashram. And we know the story that King Sagar's 60,000 sons were destroyed by Kapil Muni when they falsely accused him of stealing a horse from the heavens and bringing it down. But when he woke up when he was taken out of his meditation, he pronounced a curse, and the 60,000 sons of Sagar were destroyed. And that brings us to the story of Mother Ganga coming down. Bhagirathi, the great saint, would have did austerities and penance and meditation, and Mother Ganga came at Gomukh, and then we know the Ganges came, and throughout the length of the Ganges is a place of pilgrimage. Devan Prayag, where you go and you lose your form. In Har Ki Puri and Haridwar, Kumbh Mela is there and take bath, and coming down to Varanasi, where also is a place of pilgrimage, the most ancient city is there, and people like to end their life there because they think that moksha had a chance to throw the ashes of their devotee's mom, and that so many ashes and cremations are going down there, and it comes all the way down to the Ganga Sagar Mela. And people go there because they want to wash their sins. And with that being said, my topic this morning, I'd like to spend a little time on that. When Swami Parameshananda would have come to the end of his sojourn on earth, this was all planned, and he was about to do a large gathering of speaking, 100,000 people in Barishal, and the doctor said, "No, Guruji, your heart is not capable, and moral ethics, I cannot give you more medicine for you to go on." And he decided he's going to return back to Kolkata and spend a couple of days in his room, and he would have given up his body through his own will. And this is how God operates. And the Christ also, he would have done the same. And then when he would have got his disciples, and then his work was about to be finished, he was put on the cross. He would have said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And then he was resurrected. So these great incarnations, they have so much power. The Buddha also, this is a very powerful story. He would have given up this ordinary life, and then he became the Buddha by sitting under the Bodhi tree. And then he moved his attention from mundane to spiritual, and he stuck with it. Now, we've been hearing so many people passing away, a young lady who was an accident. And what do we think of here in America, New York? And she was very much loved. And you could see so many people gathered. But everything happens at the will of the Lord, of consciousness, Lord God without name and form. So we should not be alarmed when these things happen. But because we are not evolved to understand it, in the Mahabharata, when Krishna Bhagavan sanctioned the Mahabharata, then he was asked the question, "Lord, so many millions they'll lose their lives, the body would separate." And then he would have replied, "Oh no, don't you know they're all me? That Arjuna, you'll be just being an instrument in the hand to do the separation. But all those innocent soldiers, millions of them, they're already liberated. They would have performed their duty as Kshatriyas or warriors, as soldiers." So then this is a good explanation how the Lord has control over everyone. And then Bhisham Pitama, he had the power to decide when he is going to give up his body. And it was an opportune time that when he made that, we could say a mistake, when he snatched 3 sisters, and they came for his stepbrother to be wives, then one of them would have cursed him and says, "Look, you brought me here. I'm already in relationship with someone in mind. Now I cannot marry." When he couldn't become the queen, so when she went back, the person who is supposed to be in relationship, he says, I don't want you, you were with another person. And so that person did austerity, and he promised in the next life that she will take the human male form, and in the war he would have go back. The Mahabharata would have go back when he came in front of Bhishampitama, and this is where Bhishampitama dropped weapon, and Krishna says, Arjuna, pump arrows in Bhishampitama, and Arjuna said, how could I do that? And the Lord says, I am telling you to do that because this is what be his liberation. And Bhishampitama stayed on the bed of arrow until Makar Sankrant, and then when he gave up his body. So Makar Sankrant is such a powerful thing that, we do that. Now coming back to, so many people have passed away. Swami Parameshananda, his attendant for 25 years, Swami Arupanandaji, he was 99 years old, and we were going to Sabrimala, and for Makar Sankrant also, there we go again. Makar Sankrant is such a powerful day. It's usually January 14th in the calendar. And so Arupananda Swamiji, he would have said that Swami Pranavaji, during his meditation, Arupananda Swamiji meditation, he would say, Arupanandaji, you will come and join me soon. Now, what a beautiful death. Now this is an example again, how the Lord is the one that's going to decide when we die. Whether it be accident, or we be old age, or any other kind of death, it's already there. In our evolution, some of us, we can't figure that out. But devotees, this is the key to when the Lord Krishna Bhagavan was said, it says, Arjuna, the wise ones are awake, while the unwise, the underdeveloped, are asleep. What he was saying there, and vice versa, what he was saying there, when you come and you move your attention to the relationship with God, the Guru, then you understand this. That your attention it's all about where we want to put our attention. That I will go to people's house, and then one person I went, and she is pretty much advanced, and so she was talking, and she was putting our attention on the past. In the midst of a Swamiji there, she didn't understand the magnitude of when a sannyas goes into a house. The food has to be fresh, and when the conversation has to be of one of humility, because you have them go there because you want blessings. But she didn't properly understand it, and we don't go to anyone's house unless it's for the purpose of the ashram, for collection and speaking about the greatness of Swami Parameshananda. But anyway, she didn't understand it. This is how we have to think, that we have to shift our attention and importance. Otherwise, we will be a victim of ignorance, and anything that happens with relationships, husband and wife, I was talking to a couple, and the lady, she was stuck in having her attention in one place, a mundane place, a past. And she don't want to give it up, and because of that, she's suffering. Now, the solution that I give to her, shift your attention from that past that is causing you suffering to the Lord. Make it your New Year's resolution that you will be whenever you're in a state of sorrow, know that you're in a state of weakness. Because Swami Parameshananda would have said, what are real sins? Weakness, fear, cowardice, meanness, and selfishness. And how true it is. It is a weakness because we don't think about God. And we're being drowned in this illusion. So, so many things happen in our lives that we have to evolve. So this year, let us try to lift ourselves up to the higher level. If you're suffering, don't blame someone else. You're causing your own suffering because your attention and importance is on things that are constantly changing. And what is that? The manifested universe. It is such that it is not perfection and is constantly deteriorating. Whatever was created, this whole universe is deteriorating. And there will be a time that in Pralaya, that this whole universe, all of creation will withdraw into the consciousness and we'd be there for the same amount of time that it was in existence. This is our scriptures that is telling us. So these are the things that we have to lift ourselves up to higher heights. So when someone passes away, we shouldn't be disturbed by it. My friend Sri Prakash, in his last trip, by chance, we were on the same plane and we talked. And he says, come and see me. That on Thursday, that was Sunday we going. So when I called him Thursday, he said, okay, he just had a heart attack. He's in the hospital, intensive care in Guyana. Now I said, okay, I'm going to come this Friday. And I went and when I took a photo of Swami Parameshananda because he's christened with the ashram and Swami Vidyanan. So when I went there, I said, look, I'm here. So he was so excited and he humbly said, Swamiji, please pray for me, bless me. And I said, okay, we'll do that. But I have something better for you. Here's Guruji's photo. He was the one going to liberate you. I know your reverence for him, Swami Parameshananda. And he says he sort of sat up quickly. He was on the sedation, but he sat up quickly and he bowed. And he says, put it here in my bag so I could see it. And then I blessed him and rubbed his head and we prayed together. And then he went to sleep because of the sedative. And he's matter of fact to Miami, Florida, in the United States. And Monday, that was Friday, Monday he passed on. He's done a lot of good. So then there's with the reverence of the Guruji and all of that, there's a good chance that he can go far, far, if not he'll be liberated, so but far towards his moksha. And maybe the life next time he'll come in a more advanced home of the enlightened. But we don't know this. Devotees, I've said a lot, and I want you to understand it is all in your hands. That don't be consumed by this illusion in this world. We come individually and we have to go back individually. And there's a beautiful bhajan that will talk about this. It is not a bhajan of sadness, but it's a bhajan of reflection that we should always keep it in mind. I'll give you the explanation. It goes like this, that, oh Lord, we made our entry into the world alone and we shall leave alone. On careful analysis, we find that life is very short and it is nothing but a mela, a fear. And it goes on to say that report to the shelter of Hari and begin your meditation. Hari is Vishnu Bhagwan. He's the sustainer. While you have this human form, the body may not be obtained again. The warfare is a game, and life is, and he is the captain of the game. Who? God in with form and without form. And he goes to say, oh my friend, this life is an illusion. Of course, it is a world of strangers. This is a world of strangers. No one is yours. No relationship you can claim they are yours. While everyone else lives on, I still am alone. A beautiful bhajan, okay? आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए, मतलब के यार सारी सभी है पराए, इन्हीं के लिए है कितना तूने दुख झेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। हरि की शरण को हो जा ध्यान लगा ले, हरि की शरण को हो जा ध्यान लगा ले, जीवन में लेना फिर ये जीवन को काले, खेल जगत का सारा उसी के धकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी एकजुट सपना, गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना, सबकी रही थी कोई मैं हूँ अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। You know, being in Bharat SEVASHRAM, staying under the guidance of Swami Parameshananda ji personally, he's given me the opportunity to do good when the body is strong and the mind is powerful. So that is God's grace. Thank God I didn't deny it because of from His wisdom. But we don't want to do good when the body goes bad and the mind is all because of sickness is gone bad. Do all the good when you can. Otherwise, you utilize your time and your money and your wisdom while you can. Because when you go and you leave it behind, it will cause more trouble than good. So spend your money, do your good, because everyone has to look out for their own. The worst thing a person can do is to be judgmental of others and to say how good or bad a person is. Try to find out how good you are. And the way you do that, in your moments of silence, when you're alone, try to see what you're thinking. Is your thoughts good? Because if your thoughts are bad, it will be just the right opportune moment where you'll be speaking it and you'll be perform the actions to execute that bad thought. In the same manner, why didn't you replace your mind with that divine mind, so that all your thoughts will be divine, and then you won't have time to waste and think of others. You will be spending your time to move steadily. To all those who have passed away, let us have the wisdom that is all done by the Lord. Nothing is done without His sanctioning. Even death and birth, let us have that realization. We surrender ourselves this morning, as is usual, because we want that divine mind. And this arti is a total surrender of body, mind, intellect, and ego. But before we do the arti, let us do the purification. We bring in the waters from the Ganges, as we were speaking before, and we want to, and all the other rivers. And then we be doing the surrender. Om Gange Chayamane Chaiva Gurauri Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jale Asmin Snanidim Kuru. We're spiritualizing this place, making a place of pilgrimage. Om Kurukshetra Gaya Ganga Prabhasa Pushkarani Cha Tirtanyatani Punyani Kale Bhavantuha. Now we took a bath, we want to cleanse the inside, the organs outside. Om, no, you take the 3 sips of water. Join me as we say Swaha. Om Amrito Pasternamasi Swaha. Om Amrita Pidanamasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yasha Srimahi Srayatam Swaha. This process is develop our mind, so our minds can be doing all the good actions rather than doing it physically, okay? Mind power, let's develop it, divine mind. Om Shanno Devi Ravishtaya Apo Bhavanta Pitaye Shanno Ravi Sravantunam. Oh, we want to purify our body, especially the sense organs. Om Vak Vak, mouth. Om Prana, Prana, nose. Om Chakshu, Chakshu, eyes. Om Srotram, Srotram, ears. Om Nabhi, navel. Om Hridayam, heart. Om Kantaha, throat. Om Siraha, head. Om Bahobhyam, arms. Om Karatala, Karaprishte, all over the body, including the legs. Now that we're ready for puja, let us chant, let us realize who we are, that we are the manifestation of that consciousness. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Dhyanamoolam Guru Murti Puja Moolam Guru Param Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam Moksha Moolam Guru Kripam. Now we'll be doing the Abhishek, where we humbly washing the feet, and from the dust particles we be drinking the water, and then we be surrendering ourselves, adoring the feet of the Guruji with chandan and perfume and flowers, and then we'll be surrendering our five senses, which is the mind, and then through intellect we're doing all of this, and by that we also be crushing our ego, Abhiman. Om Sahasra Shirisha Purusha Sahasraksho Sahasrapat Sabhumin Sarvato Sritva Atyatishta Dashangulam. Om Sarvatah Pani Param Tat Sarvato Akshi Shiro Mukham Sarvatah Sruti Maloke Sarvamavritya Tishtate. Om Jyoti Shama Pita Jyoti Tamasaha Paramuchate Jnanam Geyam Jnanagamyam Hridhi Sarvasya Vishtitam. Om Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivashaho Sharanam Suri Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Abhayam. Om Tvamadi Deva Purusho Purana Tvamasya Visvasya Param Nidhanam Tvamabhayo Swasvato Dharma Gupta Sanatanastvam Purusho Matome. Om Pitasi Lokasya Characharasya Tvamasya Pujasya Garur Garyam Na Tvatsamo Asti Haryadika Kuto Anyo Lokatrai Apiya Pratimam Prabhaom. Om Bola Sisi Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Guru Shiva Om Guru Om Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om. Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om. Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Guru Shiva Om Guru Om Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om. Om Karo Jaya Guru Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Guru Om Shiva Om Guru Om Shiva Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Guru Om Shiva Guru Om Shiva Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Karo Jaya Guru Om Karo Jaya Shiva Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya Omkar Murtaye Sakshat Parabrahma Swarupini Namaste Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya Paratmane Mahamukti Viratreve Jnana Bhakti Pradayani Sri Gurave Namo Nityam Sudha Sata Sharirane Bhavabandhana Chidhanancha Namami Sarva Sakshinam Gahorishtam Guhatitam Purusham Gahanatmakam Vandita Martaya Pujita Kshesha Bhaktaye Tejo Dipto Prakashaya Namaste Sarva Saktaye Prasanam Vandanam Devam Sarva Kalyana Karanam Namami Suksyamalangam Madhuram Somanoharam Bhamakaradritadandaya Namatrishulapanaye Amita Garuritaya Pranavanandaya Te Namah Om Bhavatitam Yashtu Mahabhava Yuktam Nirakaram Jacha Sakaradiptam Om Haitukam Prema Siddham Acharya Rupam Pranavam Namami Acharya Rupam Pranavam Namami Join me as we sing. Guru Kripahi Kevalam, Guru Kripahi Kevalam. Om Guru Kripahi Kevalam, Guru Kripahi Kevalam, Guru Kripahi Kevalam, Guru Kripahi Kevalam. Bolo Sisi Guru Maharaj ki jai. Well, we'll sip the water, and it's this act of surrender and humility coming from the feet of the Guru. With the Mansika Puja, you take of it and pass it over your body. Devotees, it's a simple message this morning. There's nothing as sadness when you're in that state of consciousness, because you would have see the world for what it is, an illusion. And when you see that, then you'll be laughing. And when someone passes away, then you know it's just a segment of the sojourn towards perfection. And it's something that happened. It can happen when you're young, you're healthy. It can happen when you're old and you get sick and all of that. Don't take it for that. So do the good when you have a healthy body and a healthy mind. Don't have regrets when you come into old age that I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. Do not procrastinate. Swami Parameshananda said, what is the real enemy? Laziness, procrastination, lustful senses and passions. Keep your friends with you all the time. Energy, enthusiasm, perseverance as you travel journey towards your moksha, your liberation. What is the goal of life? Self-realization, universal emancipation. Oh, it's all so clear. These spiritual masters, the Buddha, the Christ, Paramahansa Swamiji, Krishna, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Lord Shiva, Mother Durga, all of them, they are here to remind us, let us not take life for granted. Take your blessings and have a beautiful day. The worst thing you can think that you think that you're not, all that you have to do is come to the realization that these murtis that we're looking at, we have the capabilities of lifting ourselves to their state of being. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.